My wife divorced me for being broke, then her new husband paid me $499 to learn how I make money. My wife divorced me because she thought I was broke and had no direction. I'm 34 and for almost 2 years it looked like I didn't have a real job, no office, no meetings, just me sitting at home with a laptop while she rushed out every morning to her corporate job, always stressed, always busy. And before leaving she'd throw the same line at me: "You can't keep living like this forever." I never argued because I knew explaining something she already disrespected wouldn't change anything. What she didn't know was that I was deep into trading stocks and crypto. At first I lost a lot of money, nights full of doubt, charts that made no sense, mistakes that hit hard. But over time patterns started clicking, I got disciplined, controlled my risk, and last year alone I quietly made over $400,000. But she had no idea because she stopped asking and I stopped explaining. One night at a dinner with her coworkers, someone asked me what I do, and before I could answer she laughed and said, "He's still figuring things out." Everyone smiled and moved on, but in that moment something in me locked in. After that the respect was gone, conversations got shorter, colder, and a few weeks later she sat me down and said, "I can't do this anymore. I need someone stable, someone who actually provides." I looked at her for a second thinking I could just open my account and show her everything, but then I realized if someone already sees you as nothing, proof doesn't change their mindset. So I just nodded and said okay. The divorce was quick and clean, and within a month she moved in with a guy from her office, confident, well-dressed, everything she thought I wasn't. I didn't react. I just focused harder, no distractions, no noise, just work. My trades got sharper, bigger, and within months my portfolio crossed 7 figures. I moved into a quiet house outside the city and bought myself a black Porsche, not to show off, just because I could. Life finally felt calm. That's when I met Emma at a coffee shop. She saw my screen once and asked to trade, right? No judgment, just curiosity. We talked for hours and for the first time in a long time I felt understood without having to prove anything. Months passed, everything was steady until one night my phone lit up with my ex-wife's name. I ignored it, then a message came through: "Can you help him?" I already knew what that meant. Next morning my doorbell rang and there he was, her new husband, looking tired, stressed, completely different from the confident guy I remembered. He sat down and said, "I've been following this trader online. His strategies look solid, but I've lost over $60,000. Then he showed me his phone and it was my page, my trades, my system. I stayed quiet as it slowly hit him. His face changed and he said, "Wait, you're him?" I nodded and he just sat there in shock before quietly saying, "But she told me you don't work." I stood up, walked to the door, opened it, and said, "That's exactly why you're here." He didn't say another word and just walked out. That night my phone rang again and this time I answered. She said, "You lied to me." I replied calmly, "No, you just never listened." There was a long silence before she said softly, "We made